You are watching QTV. This is the news with me, Jana Basonko. Our top stories. The Gambia is to benefit from more than $200 million worth of infrastructural development projects thanks to the Organization of Islamic Cooperation Conference to be held in the country in November 2019. Commissioners of the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission, TRRC, have undergone a one-day orientation on transitional justice. The acting United Nations representative in the Gambia calls for world unity ahead of UN Day celebration on Wednesday. Those were our top stories, and now the news in detail. Over $260 million infrastructural development projects are to be built in the Gambia. This comes in the wake of the Gambia hosting the 14th Summit of Heads of States and Government of the Organization for Islamic Cooperation to be held in the Gambia in November 2019. Babakar Sise has the rest of the story.
The announcement was made on Tuesday during a press briefing at the headquarters of the Organization for Islamic Cooperation Secretariat at the Petroleum House in Brusubi. The aim was to make public the program of activities of the organization in the run-up to the conference in November 2019. The Chief Executive Officer of the OIC in the Gambia, Lamin Sane, says the date of the summit is imminent and the government is fully prepared.
The hosting of the summit in the Gambia is no longer a dream, but a reality that has dawned on the Gambia. Hinted to this reality, the government of the Gambia has taken the necessary measures to host a successful and a memorable summit come November 2019 in the Gambia. The OIC Gambia Secretariat, which is newly established and constituted, is mandated by the Office of the President to mobilize resources and embark on key infrastructure projects.
Furthermore, CEO Sane said the OIC projects, the summit and the OIC Secretariat are fully funded by the member countries, prominent among them Saudi Arabia. The Gambia hosting the OIC, he said, will no doubt create jobs for Gambians before, during and after the summit. The priority projects the Secretariat is working on at the moment are
construction of a 100-kilometer road from the airport junction. This project will consist of a dual carriage way from Sting Corner via traffic light to the airport junction and access roads within the OIC concentrated areas. Construction of 60 royal and presidential villas to house the visiting head of states, 400-bedroom 5-star hotel, VIP lounge at the airport to accommodate the already existing conference center, procurement of VIP vehicles for the visiting head of states and delegates, reinforcement of the water and electricity infrastructure within the OIC concentrated or imparted areas, renovation and facelifting of the airport current terminal building.
The Organization for Islamic Cooperation was set up in 1970 as the collective voice of the Muslim world. With a membership of 57 states spread over 4 continents, it endeavors to safeguard and protect the interests of the Muslim world in the spirit of universal brotherhood, international peace and harmony among the peoples of the world. For QTV News, I am Babakar Sise.
The Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission Tuesday organized a leadership orientation retreat for commissioners of the TRRC on the theme supporting democracy worldwide. The forum brought together key stakeholders in the process of unearthing the truth of Yahya Jammeh's 22-year dictatorship in order to bring closure to the victims. Rohi Jatta was at the ceremony and she now tells us more.
The forum brought together commissioners of the TRRC, government officials, the private sector and the international community to foster the rule of law and development of transitional justice to address the abuses allegedly committed by Yahya Jammeh during his 22-year rule. Speaking at the orientation ceremony, the Regional Director of International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance, IDEA, Professor Adibayo Olukoshi, said supporting democracy is one of their primary objectives and that democratic consultations are central to the Institute's vision because for transitional justice to thrive, democracy must be the primary element for such societies. He assured the gathering that strategic planning and cooperation are needed in the fight against injustice and inhuman treatment of people in the world.
In society, coming from authoritarian rules and going to democratic dispensation are constituted by 3 concentric circles. The first cycle is the political will and is based on citizen choice clearly expressed. The second cycle is existence of appropriate transitional justice administration.
The Deputy Resident Representative of UNDP, the Gambia, Mrs. Nessie Golokai Gould, said partnership with key stakeholders are crucial in the attainment of the truth and reconciliation goals.
The journey may have seemed long and there may have been obstacles, but the fact that you are here today is indeed a dream come true for many Gambians. And again, just to say congratulations. The launching of the TRRC last week sent a very strong signal to all Gambians and to the entire world of the commitment of the government of the Gambia to deal with issues of past human rights violation and restore the rule of law, respect for human rights, and democracy back in the Gambia.
The Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Tambedu, said the rights and dignity of victims must be respected and the citizenry should learn the right lessons so that the abuses of the past will never be repeated.
Not only reflects our national characteristics, but also to help make our country a model for democracy and respect for the rule of law throughout the world. Today we are here for the peer-to-peer leadership conversation on transitional justice. The objective of this is to engage the TRRC and facilitate a successful fulfillment of its mandate.
The Deputy Chair of the TRRC, Ms. Adelaide Sources, said the commissioners are qualified and competent people who are ready to carry out their duties without fear or favor in ensuring that victims of Jammeh's 22-year regime are given a fair hearing.
This is a new experience for most of us, and despite the fact that we are recognized as highly competent and qualified people in our various spheres of operation, and acknowledged as persons of integrity and high moral standing in society, it is admitted that a knowledge and competency gap exists for us to carry out our new roles effectively.
The former president of Liberia, Mr. Amos Sawyer, said in such countries where atrocities have been committed, justice is the only weapon to bring reconciliation. He said it is through reconciliation that societies can achieve greater things and respect for democracy and the rule of law.
In the difficult days that Liberia experienced, the Gambia was there for Liberia. The ECOWAS Mediation Committee was headed for Liberia in the 1990s, was headed by the chair of ECOWAS, who at that time was President Sadauda Jawara. And Gambian resources were part of the overall effort to help Liberia out of its difficulties. The transitional government of Liberia at that time was organized from here in Banjul. We were all here in the hotels at the expense of the Gambian people. And so we are deeply grateful for what Gambia has done. The Gambia has done for Liberia, and we cannot pay back sufficiently.
I am Rohi Jata, QTV News.
Ahead of Wednesday's celebrations of the United Nations Day, the acting UN country representative in the Gambia, Kapechua Kepa Kalalala, has delivered a statement on behalf of the Secretary General, urging the world to stay united and focus more on peace building. The UN Day is celebrated globally on October 24th. Here is an excerpt of her statement.
I'm very pleased to read the statement of the United Nations Secretary General on the occasion of the United Nations Day for 2018, which is the 24th of October 2018. And it reads, United Nations Day marks the birthday of our founding charter, the landmark document that embodies the hope, dreams, and aspirations of we the peoples. Every day, the women and men of the United Nations work to give practical meaning to that charter. Despite the odds and obstacles, we never give up. Extreme poverty is being reduced, but we see inequality growing. Yet we don't give up, because we know by reducing inequality, we increase hope and opportunity and peace around the world. Climate change is moving faster than we are, but we don't give up, because we know that climate action is the only path. Human rights are being violated in so many places, but we don't give up, because we know respect for human rights and human dignity is a basic condition for peace. Conflicts are multiplying, people are suffering, but we don't give up, because we know every man, woman, and child deserves a life of peace. On United Nations Day, let us reaffirm our commitment to repair broken trust, to heal our planet, to leave no one behind, to uphold dignity for one and all as United Nations.
The Senegalo-Gambia Network of Women Entrepreneurs and Leaders on Tuesday celebrated their one-year anniversary at the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry office in Bijilo. As part of activities marking the day, it was also used to raise awareness on cancer and blood donations. Omar P. Jallo reports.
The Senegalo-Gambian Network of Women Entrepreneurs and Leaders is a platform for women to discuss issues pertaining to the advancement of women in both Senegal and the Gambia. Established in October last year, the association started with only 20 members, 10 from the Gambia and 10 from Senegal. But today they have 180 members in the Gambia alone. Ajamari Jobate is the Vice President of the Network of Women Entrepreneurs.
And to educate and support women development, entrepreneurship, and leadership skills. This we are hoping to do through training opportunities for our members, both in Senegal and the Gambia. So li ma dee wax rek mooy dama ne yóbbante yàlla moo óor soo bëggee tam mu def ci sa ndab soo bañee mu def ci sa ndab kon foog naa ne ñu ñaan yàlla di ñu yóbbante loo xam ne lu óor la suñ biir.
The Senegalese ambassador to the Gambia, Saliou Ndiaye, said his embassy and the Senegalese community in the Gambia will support the women's group and assure them of a closer collaboration with the government of Senegal.
muy dépistage xëy na tey ku nekk def na mais déwénee ñu jéem a góorgóorlu ba xam ne dina am ay docteurs yu jógee Sénégal lëkkoog docteur yu Gambia ñu def bu mag a mag loolu nag préparation la te li ñu bëgg mu réussir defe naa ni ëllëg ci suba bu ngeen ma ci wooye dinaa leen ci jàppale loolu moo ëpp solo te dinaa ci xar sama tànk suba yi.
Representing the MRC Gambia, Dr. Lamin Bojang said cancer kills more people than HIV/AIDS and malaria. He, however, attributed this to the lack of awareness of cancer in the Gambia. He therefore applauded the Senegalo-Gambia women for coming up with such an initiative.
Liver cancer, for instance, kills 3 times more than HIV that we all talk about every day. Liver cancer kills about 10 times more than malaria in this country. Yeah, is that serious? But what is the problem? We don't know about it. What is the main cause of liver cancer in this country? It's the hepatitis B virus. And another risk factor is exposure to aflatoxin. Hepatitis B virus is the main cause of liver cancer and chronic liver diseases. We've conducted a study, a 5-year study, that has shown that 1 in every 10 Gambians is 1 way or more positive of hepatitis B virus. Being positive doesn't necessarily mean you have liver cancer or chronic liver disease, no. But it is a big risk.
Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
Before we end this news bulletin, we recap our main stories. Over $260 million infrastructural development projects are to be built in the Gambia. This comes in the wake of the Gambia hosting the 14th Summit of Heads of States and Government of the Organization for Islamic Cooperation to be held in the Gambia in November 2019. The Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission Tuesday organized a leadership orientation retreat for commissioners of the TRRC on the theme Supporting Democracy Worldwide. The forum brought together key stakeholders in the process of unearthing the truth of Yahya Jammeh's 22-year dictatorship. Ahead of Wednesday's celebration of the United Nations Day, the acting UN country representative in the Gambia, Perpetua Kepa Kalala, has delivered a statement on behalf of the Secretary General, urging the world to stay united and be more focused on peace building. That is all we have for you in this edition of QTV News. Do join us tomorrow, same time, for more news. Do stay tuned for more interesting programs. Thank you for your company.